Imagine losing $50 billion worth of military hardware, not in a fire, not to malfunction, but blown to pieces by your enemy. That's exactly what's happening to Russia in Ukraine, and the number just keeps growing. Since the full-scale invasion in 2022, Ukraine has destroyed, captured, or damaged tens of thousands of Russian tanks, jets, helicopters, and armored vehicles. And according to the latest estimates, the total value of that wreckage, over $50 billion, that's more than the annual military budget of many NATO countries gone. So how did Ukraine pull this off, and what does it really mean for Russia's war machine? Let's break it down. First, you might think $50 billion sounds insane, but when you actually look at the equipment involved, the numbers add up quickly. One modern tank, around $3-5 million. Russia's top tanks, like the T-90M, cost even more. Helicopters, $15 to $20 million each. Jets like the Su-34, upwards of $50 million, and hundreds of these have been taken out. According to independent trackers and intelligence sources, Russia has lost more than 500 tanks, over 500 armored vehicles, and hundreds of aircraft. And that's just what's been visually confirmed. The real number, likely even higher, and it's not just hardware. Russia's also lost experienced pilots, commanders, and specialized cruise people that take years to train. Equipment can be replaced. Skilled soldiers, not so easily. So how is Ukraine doing it? One word: adaptation. From day one, Ukraine has used creativity, local knowledge, and Western tech to punch way above its weight. In the early days of the war, Javelin and NLAW anti-tank missiles turned Russian convoys into burning scrapyards. Remember those images of tanks stuck in the mud, ambushed by small Ukrainian units? That wasn't luck. That was smart planning and ruthless execution. Then came drones. Ukraine turned cheap commercial drones into deadly battlefield tools, strapping grenades to DJI quadcopters, spotting targets for artillery, disabling tanks with precision hits. It wasn't just clever, it was revolutionary, and it completely blindsided Russian forces stuck in Cold War tactics. As the war progressed, Ukraine received more advanced weapons, HIMARS, artillery systems, modern anti-air defenses. Suddenly, even Russian supply lines deep behind the front weren't safe. Ukraine started targeting ammo depots, command centers, and fuel convoys, the stuff that keeps a war machine running. And with every strike, millions of dollars in Russian assets went up in smoke. Let's not forget naval warfare. Ukraine has destroyed or damaged a significant chunk of Russia's Black Sea fleet using drones, missiles, and asymmetric tactics. These aren't battleships going head-to-head. These are small, agile strikes. David vs. Goliath, and Ukraine is landing hit after hit. It's not just about the cost in dollars. This kind of attrition is reshaping Russia's military. Tanks being pulled from storage from the 1960s. Soviet-era junk showing up on the front lines. Why? Because the newer stuff is gone. Russia can't build fast enough to replace the losses, especially under heavy sanctions. And even if they could, where do they get the high-end components? Many require Western-made electronics, chips, optics, parts Russia no longer has easy access to. Now, let's be real, Ukraine's also taken heavy losses. War is brutal on both sides. But what makes this so significant is how Ukraine, a smaller country with fewer resources, has forced one of the world's biggest militaries to burn through decades of stockpiled equipment. And they're doing it with a mix of Western help and homegrown ingenuity. This isn't just a battlefield story, it's also economic. Russia is spending tens of billions just to sustain this war, and every tank destroyed, every missile shot down, is a blow to their long-term ability to project power. You can't fight a modern war on pride alone. You need money, tech, and functioning hardware. Ukraine's made sure Russia loses all three, one missile at a time. And what about the propaganda side? Russia loves to talk about its military might. But how do you sell invincibility when your elite tanks are rusting on Ukrainian roads, or when your most advanced helicopters are being brought down by $1,000 drones that has a psychological effect not just on the troops, but on the public back home? The $50 billion figure isn't just a headline, it's a symbol of how modern warfare is changing, of how agility, tech, and morale can overcome brute force, of how a nation fighting for survival can outsmart a much larger foe. And it raises a bigger question. If Russia's bleeding this much just to hold a fraction of Ukrainian territory, how much longer can it sustain this? Wars aren't just won with bullets. They're won by breaking the enemy's will and draining their resources. Ukraine is doing both, and the world is watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, or you just want to stay updated on how this war is evolving in real time, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment below. Do you think this war of attrition is winnable for Ukraine? Or is Russia just too big to fail? And don't forget to like and share this video so more people can understand what's really happening on the ground. This is modern warfare, and Ukraine is rewriting the playbook.